What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update, wishing everybody a happy new year, and let's dive into some recent news. So first up, this is shared by Bullish, and this is retweeted by Ripple, just highlighting eligible regions can trade the following markets. So we have different pairs for the Ripple US dollar. And we also have T-minus 19 days until Gensler is gone. So let's hope that Trump is serious about making the United States a crypto capital, and his nomination Paul Atkins is a pro-crypto candidate, because I remember believing that Gensler was pro-crypto too. And this time around, with where I believe we are on the cycle, I think it's going to be a very good 2025. Even if we range for a few more weeks or a couple months, I believe that 2025 is going to be big. And we know there's tons of speculation if Donald Trump is going to follow through with his plan for a Bitcoin strategic reserve. And essentially, this would position Bitcoin alongside other traditional assets like gold. So I've gone over the Reuters article in past videos and shared the clips of Trump saying this. This would basically include accumulation of Bitcoin, their goal of, I forget how many years they plan to do so, if it's over 5 years, of accumulating over 1 million Bitcoin, or around 5% of the total circulating, or total supply, excuse me. Other considerations include the Bitcoin Act of 2024, and if this were to be the case, and this does happen, this would be a huge catalyst, and many other countries would likely follow behind, and the regulatory environment for the United States and globally would change big time. And in terms of being able to see one of the biggest bull runs, I think it's going to be regulatory based. And there are so many things happening in this space. There are concerns, there's things that I'm really excited about, but basically a more crypto-friendly atmosphere would be huge in influencing regulatory policies. And because of this, with getting better regulation or friendly policies of clear guidelines, rules of the road, this would encourage broader adoption. So I'm going to play a quick clip of MetaPlanet CEO basically saying that if the United States adopts a Bitcoin strategic reserve, so will Japan and other countries worldwide.
And so hopefully President Trump will do what he has said that he will, which is to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve, and then countries around the world will follow. Japan is one of those countries where they do look to the U.S. as sort of their big brother and follow in their footsteps. And so I think if President Trump does adopt it as a strategic reserve, then Japan and many other countries in Asia will do the same. Secretly buying kind of behind the scenes, and hopefully they will announce quite soon. I think a lot of them are being deferent to the U.S. So after President Trump announces the strategic reserve, I think a lot of other countries will say, actually, we own Bitcoin as well.
All right, next up, so I put this tweet out, and this is a mock portfolio that is started for today, the beginning of this year, January 1st, 2025. So I thought this would be something fun to track throughout this cycle. So this is $10,000 invested across 13 different assets. So not even the best entries, not getting XRP at 50 cents or Bitcoin before it even ran, or even buying SWI early or HBAR. So I'll be documenting this, and you can see that this is a pretty boring portfolio with 70% of its allocation in the top 5 assets. So this is something I'll be documenting throughout 2025. This is not a recommendation for somebody brand new to crypto to do this exact allocation. This is just something to track. And I perceive this as more of a boring, a more conservative portfolio, still having some exposure to altcoins, but the allocation is just extremely small. So I did say if this does get a bunch of retweets, I'll consider making an aggressive portfolio far different from this one. So if you guys want to track this, I'll be sure to link this in the video description. You can just click this link directly and you should be able to publicly track this portfolio. We can go over each asset and we can see the percentage allocation. So I wanted to get this out today, starting on the first day of the year. We're going to track this on occasion and see how this does. Even if Bitcoin ends up pulling back to the 21-week EMA like the 2017 cycle, just wanted to get this out. And I really just whipped this out, so there wasn't any high degree of thinking, just wanted to have a higher allocation in the top 5 assets, primarily Bitcoin, and then looking at other assets, we can see different sectors. I only did a couple newer projects. We have SWI, which has already ran up a bunch. It definitely has potential. It's not like I got the absolute best entry starting today. Some deep in exposure in Peak. We have SNX, a more OG asset connected to Base for DeFi and synthetic assets. API 3, we got Velo. We have MAV as the AMM. I also threw check in there for verified credentials or DIDs. And basically the idea here is if we get another cycle, all these assets in the top 5 still perform really well, and if any of these take off down below, their ROI is likely going to be higher than a lot of the top 5, top 10. So this isn't financial advice. I do own some of every asset in this list, but I thought this would be fun for the community. Let me know if you guys like this. What I love about Merlin is you can set a specific exit plan strategy based on the tokens and the percentage you want to sell, so maybe I'll set one up in the future. And you'll notice in this portfolio, I even included Fetch or ASI, and this is an asset that already took off a long time ago. So if it is in fact in distribution and does a sell-off while other assets take off, that's actually going to impact this portfolio. So I really just wanted to include some of the assets in the Coinbase Coin 50 index because this list of assets, as soon as I pull this link up right here, a lot of these have already been vetted. So we have ASI, we have some of these other assets. I could have thrown in Algorand and others, but I already have a few L1s. I threw in Fetch. I actually maybe should have just thrown in Rose. So I'm curious about this next cycle because there is a chance where assets that already did really big moves from even these lows of the cycle low. I mean, this thing already went up, 60x over 50x right there. There's a chance that these just go into distribution while other alts take off, but there's also a chance that these keep running. So I didn't want to just make this portfolio where I bought every single asset at the exact bottom. I wanted to make it look a little more realistic. Obviously, if you are entering the crypto asset class, it's not like you just throw in 10K at a time. The best strategy is the DCA, whether you DCA every week, every month, or you actually do DCA based on a price reaching your range. And looking at the XRP price chart on the monthly time frame, we can actually go to the weekly. So these are things I've shared before, measuring these waves from the swing low to the high and looking at what pullbacks would still be healthy and keep XRP in a strong uptrend. It can come down to even these levels and XRP is still fine. And even just looking at XRP on the weekly next to FAT on the weekly, we can see these waves. So we got the impulse, we retraced, ranged for a little while, got up to the negative 2.7 extension, actually came down a little bit, and then blasted up to the negative 4.236. So these are patterns that I usually look for. Sometimes things are really short and they happen fast. Other times they're actually dragged out. But looking at these extensions, we can see $4, we can see $9 and 13. And this is one of many ways to look at it. It doesn't even mean XRP has to pull back whatsoever. We already came down to the 382, but just wanted to point this out. We can also look, draw it back here. I did just draw it here because this is kind of the start of the impulse. We could move here and see if that changes things. It really doesn't change much by any means in terms of the golden extensions. I can move it down here as well just to look, and it really doesn't change anything. There are a bunch of other things I can look at compared to the last cycle low up until the cycle top right there, but it really doesn't change anything, and I'm just focused on the first impulse for this bear. So let me go back to this really quick. I'm just focused on, since the cycle low that we had for XRP and the first impulse compared to the same thing for Fetch, we had the cycle low and a first impulse a lot sooner than other alts. And looking at the XRP monthly, nothing has changed for me. I still believe if XRP's monthly RSI can cross and run over 80 like we did in 2017, we can see a God candle or a few. So I'm not saying this has to happen. Yes, it's possible that we draw waves and come back down like previous cycles, but if we see major moves with the momentum, the buying pressure increasing up here, getting over 80 like 2017, we're likely going to do major moves in all-time highs. And I know the ROI might not necessarily be the same and do like huge returns like previous cycles, as we can see right there. And just knowing how long these accumulation patterns were, even the past one right there, and how long this one was thus far, still yet to break into all-time highs. The phrase is, the longer the base, the higher in space, so that is the potential. You can draw any triangle you want on XRP. I've drawn way too many, so I'm just done. I am just watching XRP. I've gotten to a point with my XRP holdings, I'm not really emotionally tied to it besides, reading everybody's comments. They're excited when it goes up and super mad if XRP crashes. That's just part of crypto. I'll keep speculating and sharing my thoughts. We know XRP, it's going to do whatever it wants. But I have shared with the exact dates of the last two cycles during the actual alt seasons, the crash of Bitcoin dominance. XRP had its highest ROI during that time. And we haven't had the crash of Bitcoin dominance. I believe we do. I know many people don't based on reading Twitter. And remember, XRP still retraced before alt season and did over 500%, then crashed during the lawsuit in the bottom of XRP at 17 cents, started alt season, and then we went to $1.97 during a lawsuit. Did I think it would take nearly this long for XRP to get just to $2? No, I didn't, but this is part of crypto. Alright guys, I wanted to finish up with this because I would get choked up if I talked about this in the beginning. This is a friend of mine, so this is Rob. This was my roommate years ago. Really good guy, graduated from Syracuse. I always goofed around and called him Leonardo DiCaprio. And this is his younger brother. So essentially, his younger brother Andrew got shot and killed execution style on the ground, saving and trying to protect his mom. So he's gone, unfortunately. This happened in December. And his mom, Bernadette, I've gone out to dinner with her once before. She treated me. They're a really good family, really good people. And she is actually paralyzed, so they started a GoFundMe. It's a really good family and super unfortunate. I couldn't believe my eyes. I did share just the full clip on Fox 29 because I know people think this is a scam. And I also linked right here the Fox 29 reporter, Steve Keeley. So Rob's a good buddy of mine, and his younger brother, Andrew, was only 25 years old. So if you want to watch the clip, feel free. This is on Fox 29 News, and it's just super unfortunate. I did link the GoFundMe. If anybody can do anything, please just retweet this. His mom's medical bills are well over 7 figures already. They did hit the goal, which is great, but I mean, realistically, medical bills are insane. So this is real. You can see this is also donation protected if you don't think it is, but for anybody that can retweet, share this around, and bring more awareness to this, I'd really appreciate it for his family. I definitely had some good laughs with Andrew when he visited me and Rob, and, we went out on the town and it was a good time, but I just can't believe it. So I don't know how to talk about this professionally, guys. I'm just sending prayers and love to his family right now, and if anybody can retweet this just to bring more awareness, I'd really appreciate it. I obviously contributed what I could, but it just sucks. I'm gonna have to watch what I say here because I'm pretty heated, but they're looking for the suspect. His name is Kelvin Roberts, age 42, in Philadelphia. Watch the interview right here. He stole their vehicle, he has their belongings, it was him. And possibly one other suspect. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts down below. You can find all links to my crypto resources, including tools for charting, trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts right in my link tree in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.